You ever walk into a room and feel every eye sizing you up, deciding you don't belong before you even open your mouth? That's exactly what happened to Sarah when she stepped into Big AL's firearms out in a dusty corner of Reno, Nevada, a place where the air smells like gun oil and old leather, and the walls are lined with enough rifles to outfit a small army. She's barely through the door, her beat-up hiking boots scuffing the worn linoleum, when the first jab lands. Some guy with a beer gut and a faded camo cap chuckles. "Lost your way from the granola bar aisle, sweetheart?" Sarah's got this old flannel shirt, sleeves rolled up, and a backpack that's seen better days, frayed straps and all, looking more like she's headed to a campsite than a gun shop packed with hunters, collectors, and wannabe tough guys. The cashier, Linda, all sharp nails and sharper smirk, leans over the counter like she's guarding a castle. "Honey, you sure you didn't mean to hit the coffee shop next door? We got real steel here, not latte machines." The room laughs, a cold ripple, and this old dude, Frank, chewing a cigar like it's his personality, pipes up, "Nah, she's probably here to snap pics of the guns for her little blog, right? Hashtag Wilderness Barbie." He winks at the crowd, soaking up their snickers, his gut shaking under a shirt that screams, "I peaked in '75. Sarah doesn't flinch, doesn't blush, just adjusts her backpack strap and scans the wall of rifles, her hazel eyes steady, like she's reading a menu she already knows by heart. Then this firearms trainer, Mike, all tactical pants and fading swagger, steps forward, pointing at a rack of ARs. "We don't sell props for your cosplay, kid. This ain't a costume shop." The laughter gets louder, meaner, like the room's daring her to break. But Sarah, calm as a desert morning, says, "I'm here for a Kestrel X9, Phantom Reticle, Viper rounds." The words land like a grenade, silencing the room, because that rifle, a prototype yanked from circulation 5 years ago after some classified ops went sideways, hasn't been mentioned in public since. See, Sarah grew up in a family that didn't just have money. They had power, the kind that gets whispered about in boardrooms and backroom deals, running everything from aerospace to private security firms. Her dad, a man who could make senators sweat with a single glance, raised her plain, no frills, no flash, teaching her to shoot at 7 on a private range out in the Sierras, where the wind howled through the pines like it was testing her nerve. He'd say, "Sarah, real strength doesn't shout. It waits, and when it speaks, people listen." She learned that lesson early, like the time her cousin, all decked out in designer gear, laughed at her plain jeans during a family hunting trip. "You look like you cleaned the lodge, not hunt in it." Sarah just picked up a rifle, nailed a target at 200 yards, and walked away while he choked on his own ego. Back in the shop, the jeers keep coming. A scrawny mechanic, Joey, wiping grease on his jeans, grins like a hyena. "Check out the thrift store queen. Bet that backpack's stuffed with ramen packets." Linda, loving the spotlight, tosses her hair. "What's next, darlin'? You gonna protect your kombucha with a BB gun?" The crowd eats it up, but Sarah's unfazed, her voice cutting through. "Show me the precision rigs." Joey falters, his rag twisting in his fist, and the room's energy shifts, like they're starting to sense she's not just some lost tourist. But they double down, because that's what people do when they're scared they're wrong. A tall woman in hunting gear, Barb, who hides her loneliness behind a loud mouth, booms. She's slumming it for kicks, thinks playing broke makes her cool. "Get out of here before you embarrass yourself worse." Sarah's fingers tighten on her strap, just for a second, then loosen as she breathes out, her shoulders squaring like she's claiming the air around her. She repeats, "The Kestrel," and the room feels smaller, like her words are a blade nobody saw coming. Mike, the trainer, recovers, smirking. "Kestrel, huh? You read that in a Reddit thread? Save the fairy tales, kid." A retired cop, Dan, badge still clipped to his belt like it's his whole identity, pushes through, his voice dripping with disdain. "Northern border, in a storm? Please, you'd freeze in that dollar store jacket." He's the type who's bitter the world moved on without him, always looking for someone to put down to feel big again. Sarah's hand pauses midair, reaching for a display clip, her knuckles whitening before she folds her arms, steady as ever. Ever tested a Kestrel in Sub-Zero? Recoil's a beast unless you know the config. The mockery cracks, just a hair, but they rally. A collector, Vince, in a jacket that costs more than most people's rent, snorts. Northern border? Sure, and I'm the governor. You couldn't handle a slingshot. But the store manager, Carl, a guy who's made a fortune but acts like he's above it, steps out from the back, eyebrow raised. You know that rifle specs a little too well. What's your deal? Sarah's mind flashes to the border, snow biting her face. Lying prone for 14 hours with that Kestrel, her only warmth, waiting for the shot that stopped the smuggler's convoy cold. No medals, no name, just a nod from a handler in the dark. She was 21, pulled into a shadow program through her family's connections, trained to be invisible, deadly, erased from every record. At a gala once, her mom, all pearls and fake smiles, had whispered, "Sarah, you're too plain. Try harder, dear." Sarah just sipped her water, the weight of her secrets heavier than any diamond. The shop's demo range out back gets flipped on, a setup with targets at 150 meters behind 3 layers of ballistic glass, tough as hell. Carl, half curious, half skeptical, says, "Fine, show us. One shot, don't choke." Sarah nods, picks up a rifle, not even the Kestrel, just some heavy sniper model, and checks the scope like it's an extension of her hand. 2 seconds to aim, breath steady, trigger squeezed. Ping. The bullet tears through all 3 panels, dead center in the target. The room's so quiet you can hear a pin drop. A grizzled guy in the corner, some ex-mercenary type, mutters, "She didn't even blink." That's muscle memory. Then it happens. A chopper's blades hum outside, dust swirling in the lot. A man in a dark suit steps in, Sarah's husband, though nobody knows it yet, his plain wedding band catching the light under his sleeve. He hands her an envelope. No words, just a nod. It's marked Urgent Recall, Class Z, Presidential Seal. Carl stammers, "Who are you?" Sarah tucks the envelope away. "Just here for some rounds. But seems like peace isn't on the menu." A tech nerd, Ethan, with a scanner gadget, tries to call her bluff. "Fake seal. I've cracked better." But his screen fritzes when it hits a quantum layer in the paper, and he goes pale. The aftermath wasn't some Hollywood revenge flick. It was quieter, realer. Linda got canned after an audit tied to the shop's government contracts flagged her as a liability, her social media rants ignored. Frank's hunting club dropped him. His story's not so charming anymore. Mike's sponsorships tanked after old videos of his tantrums leaked online. Vince's rare gun collection got him a tax probe, draining his ego and his bank account. Dan's security gigs dried up, whispers of his attitude following him. Ethan's scanner stunt got him blacklisted from tech forums. None of it was Sarah's doing, just the truth catching up, like dominoes falling slow and steady. She didn't gloat, didn't turn back to rub it in. As the chopper lifted off, she leaned back, envelope in hand, the shop shrinking below. It stings, doesn't it? Being judged, dismissed, your truth buried under their assumptions. But that's where strength lives, in holding your ground, in the silence that speaks louder than their noise. So, tell me, where have you felt that sting? Drop it in the comments. Share your story. Was it a job, a family dinner, a random stranger? Hit that like button if this hit home, and subscribe to keep walking through these real stories with me. Let's talk about the moments that test us and the ones that make us. Where are you watching from?